everybody, it's Eric here with Spartan Auto Works. Today we're going to talk about parasitic draw. We're working on 04 Yukon. Belongs to a single mom, and she went to 4 different shops. Nobody could figure it out, and the last shop told her to be $2,500 just to start to attempt to replace modules, just to see when they'd figure it out. In my opinion, completely uncalled for. She brought it in here. Within an hour I had it figured out what it is. This is an 04. 03 and 04 is real common for IPC, which is your instrument panel cluster, having a parasitic draw. So you have 2 fuses that we're going to start talking about here, the IPC DIC and the TBC ignition 1 fuse. So this particular truck can go 3 days before the battery goes dead. Your particular truck may be a couple hours, maybe overnight. Most people, when call me about parasitic draw, usually goes, takes overnight to draw the battery down. So here's what you need to do: fully charged battery. If you got an 0304, start with the IPC fuse. Pull your IPC fuse. If it takes overnight, go to bed, get up the next morning, come outside, put the IPC fuse back in, try to start the truck. If the truck starts, then you found your parasitic draw. If it doesn't start, then you need to charge the battery back up, replace that fuse. When you go to park the truck or SUV for that evening, start pulling your next fuse, your TBC ignition 1 fuse. Pull that fuse. Wait overnight if that's what it takes, overnight, a couple days, whatever it may be. Come back to the truck, put the TBC fuse back in. If the truck starts up, there's your parasitic draw. If not, then you need to go down the list. This truck has, it's a Yukon, so it's got a driver's seat module, a passenger door module, a driver's door module, the radio, the amp, Bose amp or Lux amp, body control, the airbag module, IPC. I think that's all of them for this thing. There may be HVAC module could potentially do it as well. So basically, you're going to have to go down your list of different modules in the vehicle and start, seeing when you pull the fuse at night and come back the next morning and put it back in, the parasitic draw or the battery is not dead. And then there's your usual culprit. Any good shop should be able to check this with a voltometer, looking for amp draw. You can go out and buy a voltometer yourself, and you'll have to do a little research on how to actually watch for the amp draw. But it's very simplistic. You can almost any voltometer do it. You can get them $20-$30. But if you're wanting a real easy way to try to narrow it down before you go spend a lot of money in a shop that's just going to want to take your money and start replacing modules because they're not smart enough to do a little homework and actually try to figure it out before they just start spending people's money, pull fuses and see what happens. Because if you find the right fuse, it pulls power to that module, it's going to kill the parasitic draw and therefore should not kill your battery. Hope this helps. Comment below if there's any questions that you'd like answered, but this should definitely help you out. I get calls all the time for parasitic draw. This is about the easiest way for people at home, because I understand a lot of people don't have voltometers, and most people, are do-it-yourselfers and don't really fully understand the circuitry of how this stuff works. But this is about the most simplest way to narrow it down and save yourself from having to pay a shop that's really just looking to get your diagnostic money and really doesn't care about fixing your car. They just really care about getting your money. Unfortunately, there's a lot of not honest shops, and that really, really makes me mad that somebody would tell a customer, and it could be because of lack of knowledge on their part, but to tell a customer $2,500 to start to figure it out is absolutely ridiculous from a professional that repairs vehicles. So if you have a shop trying to take you and bend you over, start with this, see where it gets you first, because don't just give your money to the wind. A lot of this stuff you can do at home even without fancy diagnostic equipment. Good luck. Comment below if you have any questions.